You may be seated. Mr. Roberts, you can continue.
Thank you. Before we get back to the question I originally asked Ms. Vander Ark, you just obviously had quite a visual reaction there to the jury, a physical reaction in front of the jury looking at those photographs. That's not the first time you've seen these photographs, though, is it?
No, sir.
In fact, you sat in this very courtroom not even a week ago on Friday when we had a hearing about those photographs and looked at those photographs, didn't you?
I did not look at them last week, sir.
You didn't look at them last week?
No, sir, I did not.
But you've looked at them before, haven't you?
I think it was at the prelim, and I gagged that day, too. It just wasn't as bad.
Didn't throw up, though?
No, it wasn't as bad.
So if there's video from that hearing that we had last week where you thumbed through the photographs, including the autopsy photos, without vomiting, do you just not remember that as well?
We didn't have the autopsy, we didn't have those photos over at our table, sir. It won't be on the video, I can promise you that.
Well, then I'll return to my original question. Those 3 photographs depict your son hours after you supposedly put him in a warm bath. Did he look like that when you put him in the warm bath, but for the fact that he was alive?
I did not look at him, sir. He was 15. I tried to give him his privacy. It may sound lame, but I intentionally look away. That's why Paul did most of his baths, is because he's 15 and I didn't think that was appropriate.
So you didn't put him in the bathtub?
No, he was already in the tub. I just looked.
Did you get him out of the tub?
I don't remember. I think so. Later that night, I would assume so.
Later that night? How long was he in the tub?
Well, night to me is any time after work. So.
Okay. How long was he in the tub?
I don't think it was long after I got home, but I don't know.
And again, you didn't tell the police officers this when they talked to you about what had happened the night before, did you?
I don't remember. Apparently, I didn't.
Well, so you don't remember what you told the police officers?
I remember part of it, but I mean, if you say I didn't tell them, then I trust your word there.
If you told the police officers that you noticed he was skinny, so you made him some bread and put some butter on it and watched him eat 3/4 of it and then sent him to bed, does that refresh your recollection about what you told the officers?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't remember saying it, but.
So you don't remember saying those things to the police officer?
No, sir.
And those things clearly didn't happen, did they?
No, sir.
How did he get into his room that night?
I don't remember, sir.
Last page of the text messages. You can go ahead and read that very top text message, please.
Please set your alarm for 6 a.m. I ended up dragging him back to his small room because I wasn't going to risk him having access to the tub or other things overnight. He's still trying to be stupid, but I will tell you more tomorrow while I take you to work, describing how many different ways I proved that he's still faking. He's still doing it, though. It's beyond ridiculous.
I ended up dragging him back to his small room because I wasn't going to risk him having access to the tub or other things overnight. Plan was for him to sleep in the bathroom, wasn't it?
I don't remember, sir. I mean, I know that in the text message, but if that's what the text message says.
Okay. And you had to drag him back to the small room. Again, the small room being the closet, right?
Yes, sir.
Supposedly that he wanted to sleep in.
Yes, sir.
But you had to drag him there. Why was that?
Well, dragging, I mean, that could be anywhere from grabbing a hold of an arm and because someone's not being cooperative. That can be a range of things, sir. So I don't know what I was referring to there.
You've seen the video, haven't you?
No, sir. I haven't seen any videos.
Do you need your memory refreshed about him getting back in the small room that night?
No, sir. I mean, like I said, I'll take I don't remember actually doing it.
Did you physically pull him into the room that night?
Yes, sir. I mean.
And did you push him down onto the ground so that he was laying and facing the camera?
If that's what it shows, then yes, sir.
And did you position his face towards the camera?
If that's what it shows,
And did you tell him that he owes you the biggest apology on the face of the earth and then maybe he can get out to go to the bathroom?
If that's what it shows, sir, I don't remember.
And did you return a little while later because he had rolled over away from the camera so that you couldn't see him on camera?
If that's what it shows, I don't remember any of this.
And did you tell him you don't need to open your mouth every time you breathe, dummy, and then hold his mouth shut?
I don't know what I said, sir. I mean, I'll take your word for that's what the video
Oh, you don't have to
says.
take my word for it. Let's play the video for you.
Sir, that's not necessary. If that's what you're saying it shows. I believe you. I'm
So
not.
you're acknowledging that the night before Timothy died, hours before he died, you dragged him, looking like that, back into his small room positioned him in front of a camera, told him he owed you an apology, then came back later because he rolled over away from the camera and held his mouth closed and said, see, you don't have to open your mouth when you breathe, dummy? You're acknowledging you did those things.
If that's what the camera shows, yes, sir.
You didn't put him in a warm bath that night, did you?
Yes, sir, I did.
But you had to drag him away from it?
If that's what it says, I don't. I know that I know he had a hoodie on.
You said the locks on the refrigerator were there because he got into the refrigerator, and if I heard your testimony correctly, he ate a pound of frozen hamburger?
Yes, sir. That was back.
And a bag of chicken nuggets?
A frozen bag of chicken nuggets, yes, sir.
And frozen hamburger?
Yes, sir. The hamburger was not frozen, it was refrigerated.
But frozen chicken nuggets?
Frozen chicken nuggets and raw bacon.
And raw bacon?
Yes, sir.
Frozen raw bacon?
No, it was in the refrigerator.
The frozen stuff was the chicken
Nuggets, that was the only frozen, yes, sir.
Did you think he had an affinity for frozen food?
I didn't know the only thing he ate frozen was the chicken nuggets.
Is that why you sent a text message to Paul while he was in the ice bath at 3:43 that afternoon and said, oh, okay, crazy thought. Tell him if he actually sits up by himself and stays sitting up, he will get some pizza rolls. Don't tell him it's only 2, and I'm okay if they are frozen rather than cooked. Why'd you send that text message?
I don't know.
Don't remember that even either?
No, sir.
So you're not worried about him eating frozen pizza rolls if he sits up?
If that's what it says.
You've heard it read several times.
Yes,
You're not
sir.
doubting that's what it says, right?
Yes, sir.
Just another one of those memories that you just gone from your head, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you told Detective Peasky that the reason the locks were on the refrigerator is because he would get into them and he'd leave the doors open, that was a lie, wasn't it?
No, that was also true. He did that as well.
How does putting locks on fix that problem?
He can't get into it then, so it doesn't get left open.
Oh,
No,
so,
he was the only
so
one.
you admit that he was not allowed access to the refrigerator or the freezer or to the pantry?
As far as the refrigerator and freezer, after we put the locks on,
He couldn't get into them, could he?
no, not after that.
And the pantry had an alarm on it as well, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
Okay. We'll move on. We can circle back to that one. Let's talk about some of the other things that you told Detective Peasky. You told Detective Peasky that long after the stroke happened in January, Timothy went on a hunger strike. That was a lie, wasn't it?
Not long after, and no, that was not a lie. That was the truth.
He went on a hunger strike.
Yes, sir, he did. It wasn't immediately, but it was within a few days.
And a hunger strike is refusing to eat, right?
Yes, sir.
So he's refusing to eat food not long after your husband has his stroke, right?
Yes, sir.
Then you don't need to put locks on the refrigerator and the freezer, do you? If he's refusing to eat.
He stopped. He started eating again.
He started eating again, so then you decided he's been on a hunger strike, he's eating again, so now we better lock up the food.
No, I did the locks to protect him because he could have killed himself eating the chicken nuggets. I didn't put the locks on after he did the hamburger or the bacon, but the chicken nuggets, it was raw chicken.
Chicken nuggets are cooked, aren't they? They're pre-cooked.
Are they? I didn't even think about that.
But it's okay if he has a frozen pizza roll or two, if he sits up, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. February 18th, 2022. Find out what he has snuck right the heck now. Because I know he has snuck all stuff since you weren't doing what you were supposed to. What do you mean you didn't know he was awake? You both should have been awake at 10:30. I am not happy. You know he wasn't just sitting there. Check the brownies in the kitchen. Check everything not locked away. Check where the flipping keys have been. So starting February, you had to lock up all the food. Make sure he's not getting into the brownies, right?
All of the food was never locked. There's no pictures of it, but one of the lower cupboards had quite a bit of canned food in it, and he actually would get into that and eat stuff out of cans as well. But there was never a lock on that lower cupboard. I don't know if they. I know they took pictures of it because I showed it to them.
So he had access to one cupboard of food?
The pantry wasn't locked the whole time. I know that.
But there were times the pantry was locked or had an alarm on it, wasn't there?
There was no alarm. I never got one for the pantry. I've heard the text messages. I don't remember there being a lock on the pantry, but I've heard them.
228, check his breath. I can almost guarantee he's eaten something. He was chewing on something when he walked downstairs. You and I will be talking about this on a later date when we're both home. Paul's response, yes, he grabbed some chips. I know. So he wasn't allowed to eat chips on 228 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Couldn't have some chips. Right?
I mean, I don't know what happened in that situation.
Well, you didn't say, make sure he didn't get into the frozen chicken nuggets because it might kill him. You said, find out what he's been into, and Paul says he's been into chips. Right?
That's what it says, yes, sir.
So I imagine the next text message then is, oh, great, that's fine, he can have some chips.
Well, no, the point of it was he was sneaking things. He knew better.
Couldn't have chips.
It wasn't that he couldn't have chips. It was that he would sneak things. It
So
was
how would
dishonest.
How would he earn getting chips?
He didn't have to earn them. All he had to do was ask. I was trying to teach him not to sneak. He snuck. It wasn't just food. He would sneak in the garage. He would sneak toys. He snuck around and messed with his baby brother's homeschooling materials. I've got like flashcards and stuff for him. He messed with those and got them all out of order.
March 4th is around the time that you acknowledged that he was in zip cuffs. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but I don't think we clarified your final text message where you said, you know what? We will start cutting off the ends once they are tight, so he can't do that. Is that one of the can't remember texts too?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. March 19th. Okay, that only makes partial sense. What did he grab? LOL. Paul's response, I don't know, chips or something small he had in his pocket. Okay, tell him he just restarted his not eating again. That was you. March 19th. Tell him he's just restarted his not eating again. So he took chips. So the punishment for that is now he's not allowed to eat anything again, right?
I don't remember, sir.
Don't remember that one. Okay. Talking about the punishment outside, Paul says, wall sits question mark, and they say, push him until it looked like he is about to fall over, please. That was for running up and down the stairs, wasn't it, on April 14th?
If that's what it says, yes, sir.
So you wanted Paul to run him up and down the stairs until he was ready to fall over.
That's what the text says.
What crime had he committed to warrant being physically driven until you fall over?
I have no idea, sir.
April 18th. He managed to come upstairs, yank the locks off of both the freezer and the pantry without you noticing, and he stole a bunch of crap that squished and rattled and did all sorts of stuff, and you slept through everything. KK, no devices until tomorrow, at least my lunch other than messaging, until at least my lunch other than messaging me, which would be very little. Remember that?
I don't remember it, no, sir.
So, but if the text message said he yanked the locks off the pantry, then there were locks on the pantry as of April 18th, right?
Apparently.
$4.26, almost freaking caught him again. I want all the food in the fridge, freezer, or pantry, and those locked. So locking up all the food again on April 26th, correct?
Well, the cupboard still was never locked.
And what was in the cupboard?
A bunch of canned stuff. There's a bunch of cans in there.
Bunch of cans in there?
Yeah.
So you're okay with him getting into a bunch of canned stuff?
I mean, he got into it all the time.
So what, do you go to the drawer, get a can opener, open up the can, put it on the stove, warm the stuff up?
No, he didn't. He would eat it straight out of the can.
But that
It was
didn't worry you.
weird. Huh?
That didn't worry you?
Well, when I discovered it, it did, but I just never put anything on that cupboard.
So what caused this almost freaking caught him? I want all the food in the fridge and the freezer, the pantry, those locked up, April 28th.
I have no idea, sir. Without having it in there, I don't know what caused it.
It's likely related to the text before that, isn't it?
I don't know.
He keeps pulling his arms down, and that doesn't set off the camera alarm, so please watch him for that. Well, why did he have his arms up?
He was standing against the wall with his arms on his head.
So he'd have to do that for long periods of time, right?
Stand there, but he didn't have to have his arms up the whole time, but I'd set a time limit on how long he had to have his arms up.
And you're watching or watching an alarm to make sure his arm doesn't go down, right?
From the sound of it.
The response to you about from Paul about locking up the food, it's just he pulled the pantry door lock. What do you mean he just pulled it? Did he take it off? Paul says, yes, that part that attaches to the wall is dangling right now due to sticky locks. Okay, get another one on it right away. Last I saw, they were on the floor in a bag in my room. And you need to make him run up and down the stairs a ton for that, even in the cold and rain. So trying to take some food, not in his cabinet full of canned goods, and pulling the alarm, the pantry lock off, means he doesn't get food, it all gets locked away, and he has to run the stairs, even in the cold and rain, right?
And being deceitful and sneaky.
He was deceitful and sneaky a lot, wasn't he?
Yes, sir, he was.
Did it ever occur to you it's because he was hungry?
He was that way well before there was issues, well before the stroke. I mean, we always had issues with him over that. His stepmom warned me about that.
Well before you said well before the issues. What issues?
Before his first hunger strike, before any of this, he was extremely sneaky.
Did it ever occur to you that this is not the way to deal with a person who's been on a hunger strike? Locking up their food, locking up their access to food, punishing them when they try to take food? Did that ever occur to you with your brilliant legal mind, as it was, that wasn't a good idea?
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
April 27th, Timothy is no longer allowed anywhere near the fridge, freezer, or pantry, or any other place where food is. So now it sounds like he can't even get into his cabinet full of canned goods, right?
I mean, that's what it said. There was never a lock on that.
But he wasn't allowed near it.
I mean,
Right.
if that's what it says, I don't.
That was April 27th. Just a few days before, somehow he manages to be 104 pounds, which, as we've heard from the testimony this morning, is still a good 30 pounds under average weight, right?
Well, my kids most of them are slim. Paul is 6'1" and 130. He doesn't even hit the 134 for a 5'8" person. And I lose weight extremely easily. So at 104, he looked average.
February 14th, I may need some help with it, but I am about to get a lock for the pantry door and a lock for the fridge and both freezers. And then we won't leave any food out of those areas, and he won't have access to unlock those. Okay, Paul's response. Your response, if you disagree, please say so, but he is not going to win this. I may need some help with it, but I'm about to get a... Oh, that's the same thing. So you were bound and determined that he wasn't going to win and get food without asking for permission first, weren't you? Even if that meant locking up all the food.
No, sir, I was bound and determined he would stop being deceitful and sneaky.
He is not going to win this.
Because he was being stubborn. He kept sneaking. He snuck stuff. We found out, actually, it was well before the stroke. Paul discovered it. This was before his first hunger strike. I mean, before anything. Paul went down to the downstairs bathroom one day, and I want to say it was at least 3 cupboards, if not 4 across. And I guess he'd opened one of the cupboards, and Timothy had snuck a bunch of stuff. I mean, there was wrappers and cans and all sorts of stuff. He did that. I mean, that was, I don't remember if it was before or after my oldest son's wedding, but it was around that time.
And again, your response to all of this, rather than to seek some professional help for him, because of these eating issues that he apparently has, is to restrict even further his access to food, right? And then watch his every move on a camera or with a motion sensor or with an alarm, right?
My response was to try to prevent him from being deceitful and sneaky.
April 28th, do you want to have just the one on the pants for tonight? When I leave, you will have to have both of them on so it doesn't get away with anything. So by April 28th, you were putting multiple alarms on his person, weren't you?
If that's what it says, I didn't realize he even owned more than one. I only remember ordering one.
Okay, take off the arm one, but warn him that I will count how many times he moves his arm from the camera picking it up, and he'll be doing stairs for that tomorrow. That's at 11 o'clock in the evening on 4/28. So you were watching to see how many times he moved his arm when he was in his room?
How many times he dropped his, was he in his room?
I don't know.
I
You
would
tell me.
assume
I
he was
wasn't
up
there.
against the wall, 'cause
All I can
normally-
do is read you the text message. It says, "Kay, take off the arm one," referencing back to the alarms, "but warn him that I will count how many times he moves his arm from the camera, picking it up, and he will be doing stairs for that tomorrow."
That
He's not sneaking around there, is he?
No, he was up against the wall and he was supposed to have his arms on his head for a certain amount of time.
Okay, so at 11 o'clock at night, he's
Sometimes.
supposed to be up against the wall, and you want to make sure that he knows you're going to know how many times he moves his arm, and if it's not satisfactory, he gets to do stairs for that the next day.
Yes, sir, apparently.
April 29th. What did he eat? I ate my burger already. Paul's response, he ate the crust. You remember what your response was?
I don't remember. I heard it the other day, but I don't remember sending that.
Go try to make him throw up, please. That was your response, wasn't it?
If that's what it says.
Don't remember?
No,
I'm going to
sir.
put that one in the don't remember category.
Like I said, unfortunately, between January and the time he passed away, I don't have a lot of memories in general of Gabriel, of G, of Timothy, of Paul. I know that there's times that I went over to my in-laws' house and I don't remember a lot of that. It's not just this.
So the crime he committed here, just so we're clear, wasn't sneaking frozen chicken nuggets or a bag of chips. It was eating the crust of what sounds to be an already half-eaten burger or an eaten burger. And your response to that is, go make him throw up, please.
If that's what it says, and the crime was, again, it's being sneaky and deceitful. It was never about it wasn't about the food. It was because he every time we turned around, he was sneaking something. It wasn't just food. He snuck toys. Like I said, he snuck batteries.
May 5th, did Timothy work hard enough to sleep tonight so you and I can both get some sleep? He will still have to work super hard tomorrow to earn the same, but wanted to ask about tonight first. Do you want to explain how that falls in with your statement that the reason he wasn't allowed to sleep was because he would keep you guys awake?
I actually do remember that. Timothy asked if he could trade off not getting to sleep for something else, and I had him doing chores.
There's a lot to unpack in that sentence, so I think I'll just start at the end. So he had to ask for permission to sleep.
No,
Right?
this was because he had kept us up. Like I said before, he had kept us up, so he wasn't going to get to sleep. And he asked if he could trade that punishment for another punishment.
How was that not having to ask for permission to go to sleep, Ms. Vander Ark?
It wasn't because it was a punishment. It wasn't anything about, he didn't have to ask to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll do something else if you let me sleep, right?
It was trading a punishment for a punishment. That's.
May 16th, where is Timothy? Paul's response, sorry, I was getting dressed. Timothy is on a 5-minute bathroom timer. Well, 4 now. And your response, why is he on a 5-minute timer? He doesn't get 5 minutes. He gets 60 seconds unless he needs to poop, then he gets 2 minutes. He only got to go to the bathroom for 1 minute or 2 minutes, depending on what he had to do?
I don't remember. I don't remember ever enforcing that, but obviously I sent it. But
Doesn't that strike you as, with everything else that happens, it's just cruel and unusual to tell a child, heck, to tell anybody, that you only get a certain amount of time in the bathroom? That doesn't strike you as cruel?
Object to this being argumentative.
It's not argumentative.
It certainly is argumentative. She can answer the question, but certainly the way it's phrased is an argument. There's no question there. It's an argument here, Judge, with a question mark at the end.
No, I really want to know if she thinks it's cruel to put somebody on a bathroom timer, Joe.
And the relevance of if she thinks it's it's simply argumentative, Judge.
I don't think it's argumentative. It would tend to give some insight, I suppose, to her intent. If Mr. Johnson, you would like to clarify or have it clarify what her definition of cruel or unusual is so that we're all on the same page with the witness, that's fine. But I think the question can be asked, so the objection is overruled.
So your response to that, well, I want my question answered. Is it cruel to make a child go to the bathroom on a timer?
Yes, sir.
May 17th, before I left, when I was having you sign into the camera and turning on the sound for the camera so you would hear the alarm if it went off. And by the way, I told him yesterday that if he did that in the garage again, he would sleep in the garage for a night. So let him know that he would be doing that as soon as the temperatures are safe enough for him to make him do it. So you were going to have him sleep in the garage for a night.
I actually remember that text message, and I was frustrated. I never would have done it, but I was frustrated. I type really fast, and I admit I have a bad habit of saying stuff when I'm upset, and then calming down later and it being totally different. But I do remember that, and it never happened.
It didn't happen? What didn't happen? You didn't make him sleep in the garage?
No.
Oh. Yes, thank goodness for that. Same day, 12:53. Did he heat the pancake in a cup? Otherwise, it's just powder, and it's not safe to eat without being heated either. When it actually says, did he hear the pancake in the cup? I assume he meant heat the pancake in the cup, right? Do you remember this text exchange?
Vaguely.
And Paul's response, no, he just ate the powder. And your response, that could make him sick, the dummy. Tabasco in his mouth and make him swallow, and lots of it, and do it every 30 minutes until you leave. This was May 17th. Do you remember this exchange?
I don't remember the Tabasco because I never called it. I said Tabasco.
Tabasco in the mouth and make him swallow, and lots of it, and do it every 30 minutes until you leave.
I don't remember that being a part of it. I remember part of the conversation, but I don't remember that part of it.
Well,
But
Timothy obviously didn't like Tabasco, did he?
We didn't have any Tabasco sauce. That's why it doesn't make any sense. We had hot sauce, but we didn't have Tabasco sauce.
Okay, so the punishment for eating pancake in a cup is Tabasco or some type of hot sauce in the mouth. Is that right?
Sneaking something dangerous. If that's what, I mean, if you're asking what he was punished for, it would be for sneaking.
You were concerned for his well-being.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's why you're having this text exchange, right?
Yes, sir.
You're really concerned for him at that point.
Yes, sir. Those pancakes in a cup had, if I remember correctly, it's been a while, but I think they had eggs in them.
That could make him sick, the dummy. Do you always refer to him as a dummy when you're worried about him?
No, sir. You can look at the text messages. I hardly ever said anything like that.
Hardly ever said anything like that? It's not a good idea to call a child a dummy, is it?
I never would to him. I was frustrated, like I said.
Later on in that same text exchange, Paul says he also crapped himself. And your response is, what? In his pants? Seriously? Paul, I told him to take a 5-minute shower. Make him do the work in the garage with nothing on below the waist. Just make sure the garage door stays closed, and then he can stand down against the wall with nothing on below the waist until you leave. Just please make sure G does not go downstairs at all while he's standing there like that. Break that up again. So make him do the work in the garage with nothing on below the waist. So his punishment for having an accident was that he had to do chores without pants and underwear on, right?
If that's what it says, I don't remember this.
That's pretty humiliating, isn't it?
I mean, he was by himself. It wasn't, I would never, I mean, I don't remember this at all, sir.
You don't remember that at all?
No, sir.
But you did have the presence of mind at that time that says, just make sure the garage door stays closed because you don't want anyone seeing him doing that, do you?
Well, I didn't want the garage door open ever because we had a lot of stuff out there. So,
And then he can stand against the wall with nothing on below the waist until you leave. So in addition to cleaning the garage, then he has to stand against the wall with no pants and underwear on, correct?
I mean, if that's what it says, I don't remember this.
Please make sure G does not go downstairs at all. Don't remember that either.
No, sir.
Didn't want, but you physically typed these words into your phone and sent them to Paul to make sure that G doesn't see Timothy like that, right?
Yes, sir.
His clothes need to be washed right away, but he gets to be without anything below the waist for a while today. Did he say why the heck he did that? And Paul's response is he said he didn't want to disturb anyone. He had to ask for permission to go to the bathroom, didn't he?
No, sir, not usually. If he was on the wall, he did. Because he was supposed to be standing still.
Just the handcuff transactions, we've talked about that. So let's get back to your statement to Detective Peasky. Again, you didn't tell the detective about the warm bath, but you told him that you realized how skinny he was the night before and threatened to take him to the ER if he didn't eat. That's not true, is it?
No, sir.
And you didn't make him a piece of toast and give it to him and make him eat it, did you?
No, sir, I have no idea why I said that. I was traumatized. I actually didn't come out of the first month I was in jail. I wish the Lydia that used to work for the public defender's office visited me, and she said it was pretty obvious that I was under severe trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat for my first month.
This was while they were searching your house on July 6th while you were sitting in your house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, oh, I better tell him. Yeah, he looked a little skinny last night, and I thought I should take him to the ER and then make some toast with butter on it and watched him eat it, and he walked away. None of that happened, did it?
No, I don't even remember that.
But you had the presence of mind to lie to the officer at the time when he was investigating.
Like I said, I was traumatized. I don't remember this, sir.
He wouldn't come upstairs when she said goodnight. She walked down to the last couple of stairs and asked for a hug and a kiss. That didn't happen either, did it?
I don't remember. I mean, I would assume not, but I don't remember.
In fact, you're acknowledging that video that shows you dragging him into a small room, looking like he does when he dies, calling him a dummy for breathing with his mouth open, is actually what you did to him the night before he died, right?
If that's what it shows, I don't remember, sir.
Your statement to Detective Peasky continues. She got ready for work in the morning and went to check on him. She said his name, but he did not respond. She put her hand on his chest and he was not breathing. She remembered her 20-year-old son, Paul, helping her get him off the bed. That was all a lie, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
You know where he was when you found him that morning, right?
In the closet.
In the small room. And prior to that, you told Officer Stefanich, well, it was about 5:30, he fell out of bed and I had to go and put him back into bed. Also a lie, right?
Yes, sir. I have no idea why I said that, sir. Like I said, I was traumatized.
You told Detective Peasky that Timothy stated he was on a hunger strike 2 weeks ago. This is 2 weeks before he dies. He goes on a hunger strike.
Yes, sir.
Did he go on a hunger strike?
Yes, sir, he did.
Show me the text message between you and Paul where it says that he's on a hunger strike.
I don't know if I ever texted him about it, sir. We talked about it, but I never texted. I mean, if it's not in there, we didn't text about everything.
You never texted Paul about him being on a hunger strike.
No, I would have told him that in person. I wouldn't have said that over text message. That would have been important.
But Paul has to watch him for the day when you're not home, right?
Yes, sir.
So it'd be Paul's responsibility to get him some food, right?
Yes, sir.
So while he's on a hunger strike, instead of talking about the hunger strike, your response to that is give him 4 slices of bread with hot sauce on it, and if he eats them and waits 30 minutes, he can eat 4 without. Right?
I don't know what day that was, sir, if you're...
Well, let's find it and make sure.
I mean,
He
we
was
tried to,
eating
just
bread
because he
with-
wasn't eating, we tried to feed him. That was...
And the best solution you come up with is force him to eat the bread with hot sauce on it. That was the response to the hunger strike?
I don't remember, sir. I mean, it wasn't, we tried to feed him. That's all I remember.
So when would that hunger strike have started?
End of June, late June.
Again, you never looked at the bone-thin photo to see what kind of condition he was in before he goes on this hunger strike, right?
No, sir.
And did it ever occur to you, like, he's on a hunger strike now? And I know Paul had sent me that text about, you know, he's bone-thin. I think we actually need to feed him. We need to actually feed him. It never occurred to you that maybe you should go back and look at that text message now and see what condition he was in at the time?
No, sir. When something's out of sight, it's out of mind. Once that's scrolled up, I don't scroll back to the text messages.
Out of sight, out of mind. That applies to Timothy as well, doesn't it?
That applies to a lot of things, sir. It's not just, I mean, if
Not
Little Man
just
wasn't,
Timothy.
no, if Little Man was not in front of me right then I wasn't necessarily thinking about him. Paul wasn't.
June 19th, you can do his bread with hot sauce at any time, though preferably sooner rather than later. Put more hot sauce on than you did yesterday, please. And he has to eat at least 3 slices with hot sauce, but he may have more as long as they have plenty of hot sauce on him. That was June 19th. Was he on his hunger strike then?
I would assume not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an exact date.
That was about 2 weeks before he passed away, and that's when you said the hunger strike started. Is that right?
Yes, sir. But
Did it occur to you that the hunger strike was because he didn't enjoy eating bread with hot sauce on it?
Did it occur to me? No, sir, because he did it way back in January, and that wasn't the case.
June 21st, how was everything? Did you make him eat his bread with hot sauce? Yeah, and that's when it's he gets 4 with hot sauce and then 4 more, 30 minutes. That was June 21st. You don't know if the hunger strike started there then?
I don't know, sir. Like I said, I can only guesstimate. That's... The only reason I remember the 3 weeks the first time around is because it was right after the stroke, and he started eating again before the end of January.
Right. Did you think he's on a second hunger strike now? I really need to get him some treatment for this.
Did I think along those lines? No, sir. He admitted to being, he told us very early on after the stroke that he was taking advantage of that because we didn't have the extra set of eyes with my husband, and he was being difficult. He actually, Timothy told me that his dad and stepmom used to let him get away with everything. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I've always been the stricter parent anyway, and he told me on multiple occasions that if he thought that if he pushed me hard enough that I would just quit making him do stuff and I wouldn't make him cooperate.
All right, well, here's an exchange from June 29th. Maybe this can shed some light on the hunger strike feeding situation. Trust me, I know he's thin. Trust me, I know he's thin. That was your text, no? Paul's. You sent
I
Paul
don't
that
remember the
right?
text, but I mean,
You don't remember that one either?
no, sir.
Trust me, I know he's thin. That being said, he told me a week and a half ago that he wanted to be thin to make me feel bad for punishing him. You don't get to grump at him for that, though I already lit into him plenty for it. Is this while he's on his hunger strike?
I mean, I would assume so, yes, sir.
This is June 29th. This is
Yes,
about
sir.
8 days before he dies.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And Paul's response is, of course he did. And your response to that is, yeah, so while I want to fix it, he will get most of his calories from plain bread and rice for, pulling that. He will get plenty of calories, but not get to enjoy them that way, That doesn't sound like somebody who's on a hunger strike to me. Can you clarify that for me, please?
I don't remember, but I know he wasn't eating. There was...
Continues on. KK. So yeah, we'll tell you more about what he can eat later, June 29th.
Just because we offered him food doesn't... I mean, we offered him food when he was on the hunger strike in January. At least I did. I mean, I would assume Paul did as well. But just because you offered stuff... I mean, you couldn't, even though it says try to force him to eat, he couldn't force him to eat stuff. I mean, if he didn't...
You heard Paul's testimony yesterday that he had to force him to eat the bread sauce, the bread with hot sauce on it, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I don't know what he means by that.
It's interesting you use the phrase, we tried to tempt him with food. That came up while he was in the ice bath, didn't it? Tempting him with food.
Do you mean the day before he passed?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, if I said, yes, sir. I mean...
You told Paul to heat up some pizza rolls because G needed the pizza rolls anyway, right? You remember that?
Yes, sir.
You remember
I
this?
don't remember the text message.
Don't
but
remember. So this falls in the I don't remember category as well. Is that right?
like most of it.
Well,
Yes,
the
sir.
text message says, heat one up, hold it in front of him, but be ready to pull away if he tries to grab it. You don't remember sending any of that?
I don't remember it. No, sir.
You heard the text messages read yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Is it fair to say that you just don't remember those text messages?
Most of them, I don't remember.
Most of them.
Yeah. But then you've got your big bind. I can pretty much guarantee I don't remember most of that either. I don't. And it's not just my text with Paul.
You don't remember anything.
No, sir, I don't.
But somehow you were able to hold down a job as a judicial clerk during that time period, right?
Yes, sir. My
And
only...
you were able to at least provide dog training to one client at that time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you remembered to tell Paul to get up and walk Sharma just about every morning, didn't you?
I mean, that would be automatic. It would be reflex. If it's in there, then I would assume so. Yes, sir.
That would be reflex. To tell Paul to get up and walk Sharma, is that what you're saying?
I mean, if it's a habit, if I do it enough times, then... And plus it served to get Paul out of bed when I left, because he'd like to go back to sleep.
You told the officer that there was an alarm on the basement door. This is the small closet, because there was some sewing stuff stored in it. That was a lie, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. There was sewing stuff stored in it before he asked to do that, but
The
I
alarm
don't know why I
wasn't-
told him that.
The alarm wasn't on there because there was sewing stuff on it, was there?
No, sir.
The alarm was on it because Timothy was supposed to be in there, right?
I mean, as far as I know, like I said, I don't.
Don't. You don't remember, but you were able to lie to the police officer at the time?
I don't remember talking to the police. I mean, I don't remember this part of the conversation with the police officer, sir.
You tell the officer that there were cameras in the home because G would strip down naked and wander around. Well, that wasn't the only reason the cameras were in the house, was it?
No, sir.
You left out all the other details about that you had to monitor Timothy and make sure he didn't go certain places and sneak places and be deceitful, right? You didn't tell the officer that, did you?
Apparently not. I don't know why I didn't, but
You said he fell out of bed and you went and had to get him and put him back into bed. He never fell out of bed that night, did he?
not as far as I know. I don't remember, sir.
Well, you know he didn't sleep in the bed that night, don't you?
Well, yeah, so I'm sorry.
So saying that you got up at 5:30 and had to put him back into bed, and then you changed it to 30 minutes because sometime with the ending in a 30 because you learned at that point the rigor mortis had already set in and he'd been deceased for a number of hours. That was still a lie, wasn't it?
I mean, yes, sir, I don't remember any of this. I'm sorry.
The hot sauce in the bathroom downstairs was for food. But it wasn't, was it? The hot sauce was for punishment, right?
It was also to put on food.
But you didn't mention that, we also use hot sauce as a form of punishment, did you?
Apparently not.
I'm guessing you probably didn't mention to the officer, we also had the crazy idea yesterday to pour some hot sauce on his penis for a punishment. You didn't mention that either, did you?
Apparently not, sir. Like I said, I don't remember.
You told the officer that you did not restrict Timothy's movement at night with shackles. That was also a lie, wasn't it?
Again, I don't remember, sir. I know we talked about it, but as far as overnight, no.
But you would restrict his movement with shackles, wouldn't you? Whether it was zip ties or handcuffs or leg shackles.
I mean, I can only go back based on the text messages. I don't know.
Why did you wait 20 minutes to call 911 after you found Timothy deceased in the small closet in the small room?
I have no idea, honestly. I learned of that gap, just a couple of days ago. The whole day is surreal to me, so I have no idea why we waited like that. I don't know. I can't imagine waiting, but apparently it happened. I don't know.
Do you remember Paul asking you, should we call 911?
I don't remember him ever asking. Because I was the one that called, and I was the one, I remember performing CPR, and he did help me out a little bit when I got tired to take over a little bit. But, I mean, I can't imagine ever saying no to that.
But if it's on the video, that's what you said, right?
If it's on there.
So if the video showed that it begins with you with movement outside of the room at about 6:19:21, and 911 is actually called you tell Paul you have to call at 6:37, so that's about 18 minutes, isn't it?
I mean, let's see, 19, yeah, that's 18 minutes.
And Timothy was never responsive to you, was he?
No, sir.
His eyes were wide open, completely glazed over, weren't they?
As far as I remember, yes, sir.
He never moved, never took a breath, never did anything, did he?
No, sir.
And while this is all going on, you tell Paul, we'll have to tell them he was on a hunger strike, right? You remember telling him that?
No, I don't.
Don't remember that either?
No, sir.
Do you remember telling Paul, or do you remember saying, put his pants on to make it look like he's been this way?
I don't remember saying that.
Do you remember asking Paul to put the belt on to make it sure that that's the way he looked?
No, sir.
But if they're on video, you said those things,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Vander Ark, isn't it true? Timothy had just become nothing more than an annoyance for you, and he wasn't even a human being in your eyes anymore.
That is absolutely not true.
No.
Mr. Roberts, you can continue.
Thank you. Just to kind of put a bow on this and clarify things, Ms. Vander Ark, is it true that the last custody order from Oklahoma that involved Timothy indicated that you are only to be allowed supervised parenting time?
That is correct.
Now, Mr. Johnson was talked to you about the fact that after Adam had his stroke tragically in January and was out of the home, that was a significant financial hit for you. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And as a result of that, you didn't have a lot of income coming in. Were you working in Newaygo at that time?
I was, yes, sir.
So when you worked here, it was not a paid internship. You were working in Newaygo for paid internship at that time. Is that correct?
For a paid clerkship, yes, sir.
Right. Clerkship. And then what were your other sources of income at that time?
Which time?
Well, in January, right after the stroke.
Right after the stroke. The rental income that I received from my brother from Oklahoma, and then I was down to one dog training client.
Now, you're not suggesting to this jury that you couldn't afford to have food for your kids, are you?
No, sir.
In fact, we've seen the pictures, and you don't need me to show you the pictures of your freezer, your
Oh, no.
refrigerator, your pantry, all pretty well stocked with food. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir.
So so there certainly was a financial ability for you to provide for your children, at least in a food sense, correct?
Yes, sir. I bought food first.
And you're a highly intelligent woman, and I'm sure you're aware of multiple resources available in the community if that ever became an issue, right?
Yes, sir.
United Way, food pantries, anything of that nature, but you never felt the need to reach out to any of those resources, did you?
No, sir, because we had groceries covered.
You talked about, Mr. Johnson asked you about the motion sensors, and I'm not sure we got any real sense of clarity about the motion sensors. When we're talking about motion sensors, we're talking about ones that would not only go off if there was motion, that's what a motion sensor is, obviously, but would give some type of audio alarm, right?
Some of them did, yes, sir.
And Timothy had very sensitive hearing, didn't he?
I was not aware of that, no, sir. That's when Paul said that yesterday, that puzzled me.
You didn't know about that? You didn't know he had surgery to put tubes in his ears?
I was there for the surgery for his tubes, but no, I mean, it was, at least my experience with Timothy was half the time he didn't hear what you were saying. So,
did you know that he found it discomforting when those noises happened? Did you know that was, for lack of a better way of putting it, that was a punishment too for those noises to be going on?
no, sir, I did not.
Timothy was autistic, right? He was on the autism
Yes, sir, he was
spectrum.
on the spectrum.
Loud noises, disturbances, things like that. Those are troubling for folks with autism, aren't they?
For some of them, but he never, I mean, he liked to listen to his tablet extremely loud. And I remember, because little man, sorry, I'm trying not to say his name.
Yeah.
When we'd have thunderstorms, sometimes it would freak him out, and things like that didn't bother Timothy at all. And Timothy sat with me, okay, go ahead and judge me or laugh at me, but before the PTSD, I used to when I watched college football, I would scream at the television every play, offense and defense. That's just who I am. And Timothy was right there with me hollering at the TV.
So the alarms didn't bother him at all?
I mean, I wouldn't say that, I mean, they bother people, probably everybody, but they didn't, he wasn't overly sensitive to it.
Right, because it begs the question, if the alarms don't bother him, what's the point in having them, right?
Yes, sir.
And they were there as a disincentive for him to do the things he wasn't supposed to do.
It was to let us know he was doing it too.
Right.
That way we knew what was going on.
But it was supposed to also be, you're
Yes.
not supposed to be doing this, and we know when you're going to be doing
Yes,
this, right?
it was so he knew we would be notified.
And the doing this that we're talking about is coming out of the basement area of the home, right?
Coming upstairs in the middle of the night, yes, sir.
Coming upstairs in the middle of the night?
Yes, sir.
So these would only be active at night?
I only turned them on at night, yes, sir.
So there's no text messages in there about turning on the motion sensor during the day so we can't come upstairs?
I mean, I don't recall it, but
But you would, if those are in there, you would agree with me then that you were using the motion sensors to keep him downstairs even during the day, right?
if it happened occasionally,
Do you remember the text exchange about turning off the alarms so that he can go to the bathroom and then turning the alarms back on after he's done going to the bathroom? Do you remember those?
that was read the other day, vaguely, yes, sir.
Well, I'm sure you remember them from being read the other day. Do you
Yeah.
remember sending those text messages?
No, sir.
No memory of those text messages?
No, sir. And you're talking, are you talking motion sensor, or there was
I'm
one?
talking motion sensor right now.
Okay, the motion sensors are still, that's not, that's different. You're talking about it was actually for a bike alarm, like for somebody stealing a bike, I guess it was. And that was the one that you were referring to. The motion sensors that we've been talking about are posted in the house, and those don't get turned, those didn't need to be turned on or
I
off.
see. So the motion sensor with the alarm was the one that was outside? Is that what you're saying? The motion sensor with the alarm, the one that makes noise, was not one that was in the house?
No, they were up on the stairs. There's a personal one that you could attach to whatever you wanted to.
Right.
There's one of those, and then there were several on the stairs.
I see. Okay. And the purpose of the one on the stairs one was to make sure he didn't come upstairs.
In the middle of the night, yes, sir.
Right. And the ones the ones that you could attach to a thing, you actually attached to a person, didn't you?
Occasionally, yes, sir.
So let's talk about the cameras then. Well, I guess let me ask you this question. So the motion sensor goes off, the alarm goes off, maybe it doesn't go off, maybe it's not one of the ones that have an alarm on it. So what? How is that a deterrent, or how is that a punishment to Timothy?
That wasn't meant as a punishment. It was to let us know so we could go make sure that he was, he wasn't wandering around. He wasn't getting into taking batteries apart and messing with stuff that he shouldn't have been.
So you wanted to restrict his movements, and you wanted to know if he moved out of the basement area whenever the motion sensors were on.
Yes, sir.
And the cameras are, I think he testified that the camera, at least initially, he put the camera in place in G's room to make sure that he wasn't running around without his clothes on, right?
Yes, sir. When he was a toddler, he would strip down.
How does putting a camera in his room to show him running around restrict him from doing that?
Well, it doesn't restrict it. It was to let us know that he was doing it.
And you have a problem with him running around?
He wasn't
naked?
potty trained.
Wasn't potty trained, I see. But otherwise, if you're potty trained, it's okay to have your children running around naked?
No,
No. You wouldn't want to have a child running around your house naked, would you?
no,
You wouldn't want G to see his brother running around naked, would you?
no.
Then I'm wondering why the text message that you sent to Paul about Timothy making a mess in the garage was that he had to clean the garage without anything on below the waist, and then he could stand against the wall without anything below his waist.
I don't remember that, sir. I'm sorry.
You don't remember that text message?
No, sir.
Interesting. Take a look at, this is from the larger text messages. This is all the text messages between you and Paul. It's a few hundred, if not 1,000 pages. Take a look at, this is page 5783 if Mr. Johnson wants to reference. The blue is your text messages. Can you read that for the jury, please?
The blue one says, my bigger issue is that you said you checked every minute or so, but checking on the camera would have told you he wasn't listening. I'm not absolving him of responsibility by a long shot, but there are reasons the cameras are in place.
What time was that sent?
4:14 p.m. it looks like.
So at 4:14 p.m., you're upset with Paul because he's not watching Timothy every minute on the cameras, right?
If I remember correctly, that particular day, yeah, he said he was going to check. That wasn't, I didn't expect him to check every day, but there were days that were much more challenging, and that was when I asked him to keep a closer eye on.
Where's the text message that describes what the challenging incident was that day?
I don't know, sir. I mean, there was a lot of challenging incidents.
Going upstairs?
No, sir.
Going upstairs was okay during the day?
As long as he was being monitored, yes.
You talked about, we talked about the autism already. You talked about a number of other issues that Timothy had, bipolar, ADHD. Were there some other ones? Or was it
Sensory
just
processing disorder.
Sensory process. So he had the same disorder that you did?
Yes,
the
sir.
sensory processing disorder.
But there's different manifestations of it.
He had the one where his senses being overloaded didn't make a problem for him. Is that what you're saying?
He was more hyposensitive, which means he didn't react the way a typical person would, as far as less of a reaction. there was a time I was told about it when we still lived in Oklahoma. I guess he was being given a bath and he fell and hit his jaw, and he didn't say anything. He didn't say he was in pain. Well, I guess he went to someone's bedroom and my oldest son brought him back out and he had completely bitten through his tongue and not said anything. So he did not react as much to stimuli as most people do. There's hypo and hypersensitive, and he was hyposensitive.
And is there medication for that you take?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't.
Do you go to counseling for you, or did you go to counseling for you?
Not for that, no, sir.
For any of your other issues, though?
I have over time. It's been a long time.
But in fact, the entire time Timothy was in the state of Michigan, you never took him to a counselor or a doctor to address any of those issues, did you?
No, sir, I didn't have the insurance information.
You didn't reach out to any resources in the community that might have been available to help, did you?
I did actually
Yes or
contact-
no? Did you reach out to any resources
Yes.
in the community? Which ones?
I contacted DHHS about getting him on Medicaid, but they said that because he had other insurance, that would be primary, so we still had to have that information.
Did you reach out to Community Mental Health, or Health West, I guess it's called now?
I didn't. I wasn't aware of it. I hadn't heard of Health West until I started working in the courthouse.
Right. You worked in this courthouse, in the county that you live in, for at least an entire summer, as I recall correctly, and you never knew that we had a mental health agency here in Muskegon County?
I didn't realize that's what it was for. I honestly, I didn't think about it. As far as resources go, the only thing that I thought about was DHHS for things like Medicaid and food stamps.
Mr. Johnson asked you about the alarms on the doors, and your response to him was that the alarms went on the doors about 3 weeks before Timothy passed away. Is that correct?
Somewhere in there, I was approximating
Somewhere in
it.
there, okay.
You can look up the Amazon history on my phone.
Well, I'll do you one better than that. This is page 3932 of the text messages from you. Could you go ahead and read that exchange for the jury and the date, please?
Did he say miraculously? No,
This is Paul's response now, right?
Yes. No, I was emphasizing because I turned on the alarm, yet he slipped past. That's not good. We need to put up the other 2 alarms tonight later on. That's the motion sensors.
But you referred to the alarms.
Yes, sir, I did.
Right, and that was
That's
in
what we called them. That was February.
February.
That was motion sensors.
months before he died.
Yes, sir.
You just mixed up what an alarm and what a motion sensor is?
Yes, sir. That's what I called them alarms. I didn't call them motion sensors most of the time.
Mm-hmm. This one's a little bit longer exchange, but if you could read 3996 for me, please.
Just this page?
Nope, the whole thing that's stapled, please.
Is it snowing at home currently? KK, Timothy apparently ate my Pop-Tarts a few days back. Not anymore. Are you kidding me? When did he do that? He said he doesn't know the exact day. That's a bunch of BS, and how did he do it? Did he sneak down to the bathroom? He says it was before we had the other alarms. I said, that's not true because we've had those for over a week now. And you had Pop-Tarts in that box as of this past weekend or Friday at the very latest. That's still the motion sensors.
Okay,
That's
so
what I call
again,
them.
you refer to the motion sensors as
Yes,
alarms
sir.
there. And you're upset at that point because Timothy's eating some Pop-Tarts. Is that my understanding of this text messages?
In that case, because he stole them, Paul had gotten them for himself, and because he stole them.
And that date, I don't know if we read it or not, but you would agree with me that it's on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2022, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why don't you take a look at 3702. Crossed out the parts that it's not really necessary for you to read, and just go ahead and tell the jury that date and what's on there.
The date is January 24th.
Okay.
Did Timothy have to wash his sheets? Question mark. Yes. I said, ugh, okay, pretty sure that is him pouting over the extra camera and motion sensors.
So, and that was in January of 2022, correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
no problem referring to a motion sensor in January of 2022, but suddenly, come February, you mix up what an alarm and what a motion detector are.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir. Like I said, you can check my Amazon history.
You don't want to revise your testimony about when it was that you started using alarms on the doors?
No, sir, because it's in my Amazon history when I purchased those.
Mr. Johnson asked you about Timothy being on medication for a lot of his issues, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think you said that when he came to you, he was like a zombie, right?
Yes, sir.
So you decided to take him off those medications, didn't you?
No, sir, we couldn't get refills. We had to get a refill through a doctor, and we didn't have a doctor.
So your testimony wasn't that you took him off those medications?
I said that I wanted to.
You wanted to.
Yes, sir. At least some of them, because he was a zombie. It was horrible.
You wanted to take him off the medications, and it happened anyway because you can get refills for him. So you're actually happy that that happened.
Not the way it happened, but he wasn't a zombie afterwards.
But you definitely did not consult with the doctor before you did that.
No, sir, because we ran out.
But and again, didn't reach out to any, besides DHHS, didn't reach out to any resources in the community that might have helped you out with a child with such severe emotional issues that you have to use motion sensors and later alarms and locks on things. You didn't reach out for any resources before you just decided to stop him taking medication.
Before he ran out, I wasn't aware of. Like I said, DHHS is pretty much the main resource that I was aware of.
Did you ever talk to somebody and say, look, I'm at my wit's end here? I did reach out to resources and talk to the judge that you were collecting for. Say, what can I do to get some help here? Did you ever do any of that?
I talked to some friends at work.
And
But I
nobody
didn't
came up
ask.
with an idea?
I didn't ask for resources. I just vented to them, and nobody suggested anything. I didn't ask.
It's rather unusual the way this question was answered by you. She said there was one time that your mother-in-law saw Timothy.
Yes, sir.
One time.
Yes, sir.
Just the once.
After the stroke, yes, sir.
Just once in 6 months was the only time.
As far as I remember, yes, sir. That's what I believe.
In fact, you went to great lengths to make sure that the grandmother, that's Grammy, that's the person you
Grammy,
referred to
yes.
as Grammy, right? Your mother-in-law. You went to great lengths to make sure that she wasn't allowed in your home, didn't you?
I mean, that was just because the house was a mess.
Did you have some type of tracking device on her to know where she was?
We had her phone under our phone plan, so I could look up find my iPhone. Because usually when she was, that way Paul wanted to know when she was coming to get Gabriel. Oh, sorry.
Let me show you what's page 4284. This is a lengthy exchange, but go ahead and read that for the jury. It's from, I believe, March 28th.
Soot. Stupid thing writing on my watch. That should have said good. Grammy left home about 10 minutes ago. Hopefully she will not beat me there this time, but please have him ready to go. And please keep a very close eye on your messages. I will track her on the app as I head home. Hey, I need to make sure you're seeing these messages. And please make sure his new shoes are on him. Okay, thank you. And do not let Grammy inside.
Exclamation point.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Okay, she will probably beat me there, but not by more than a couple minutes. You get clothes on too, please. Okay, go ahead and take Gabriel outside and sit down to stand up against the wall downstairs. It says create the puppy too, but OL and then okay. She should be pulling up pretty soon. Okay, I got it. I'm glad you got it, but you better be outside. He is outside. Do you want to say goodbye?
That's Paul's response back to you, right?
Yes. And I said, yes, I do. I'll be there in just a minute. Headed to the car now. How's it going there? He said, good. Already taped the coat rack.
I think you can stop there. So you're tracking her movements on your phone as you're driving home
At stoplights, yes, sir.
because you're worried that she's going to see a messy house.
Yes, sir.
And the solution to that is put Gabriel outside so that he's outside when she gets there, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. That was March 8th, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
rather than his grandmother come into the house, even the entryway of the house, in the middle of winter, not middle of winter, on March 8th, your solution was put Gabriel outside, make sure she doesn't come in. Do not let her in the house.
Paul was outside with
Exclamation
him.
point.
I've never put him outside by himself. Paul was outside with him.
4044.
Please also have some decent clothes on in case I need you to bring a little man out. I'm hoping Grammy does not beat me there. It looks like it will be close. He said, okay. Said, I will tell you when to take him outside to wait for her. Just please make sure she doesn't leave until after I get there. I haven't been away from Gabriel at night since this all started, and I wanted to give him a hug and kiss before he goes. Okay. Go ahead and go outside and wait for her. It shouldn't be more than a few minutes before she gets there. Just please don't let her leave until after I get there. She is almost there. Are y'all outside? I would like a response to that message. Question mark. You might need to make Timothy stand with his nose, it says of, against the front door on the inside. Please tell me that you and the child are outside. Seriously, no response. I am almost there and I'm more than a little upset at the moment.
You're upset because at that point you don't know whether or not she's going to come into the house, aren't you?
I was upset because I wasn't getting a response. That drives me crazy. It's a pet peeve. I hate not getting a response via text message.
Right, so you better have my child standing outside so his grandmother doesn't go inside, and oh, by the way, put my other child up against the front door with his nose against the wall, right?
Because he was in trouble for something. I mean, I don't know what happened before that exchange.
What would he do to get punished to have him make sure he's standing against the wall with his nose against the door?
That was one of the punishments. We'd make him stand against the wall with his nose. And the reason I had it against the door is because I didn't want him getting into anything. That way Paul had a better ability to monitor him.
4123. Remember, we're not saying your younger son's name.
Yes. When you get home, please make sure G's face is not a mess and he isn't filthy dirty. And then please get socks and shoes on him and his headphone case in his backpack. And maybe his blue headphones as well. Okay. Also, please watch him, but please have Timothy get those 2 pumpkins off the front porch and into the trash can before Grammy gets there. Grammy isn't supposed to get there till 6:15, but she was early last time, so she might do that again. I hope not. Remember to bang loudly on the door 3 times, please. I will let Timothy know to listen for you here in the next few minutes. And Grammy may just beat me there again, which doesn't make me happy, but anyway. If she does, do not let her in the house this time. Okay. Work was fun. I accidentally scratched my palm with a knife opening a bag and then cut my elbow from banging my funny bone on a metal carton.
That was Paul's response back to you.
Yeah, that was his.
So that's 3 text exchange, all within a couple of weeks of each other, where you are absolutely consistent that the boy's grandmother, G's grandmother, not come into the house. Right?
Yes, sir.
To the point where you're tracking her phone while you're driving home from work. Right?
Yes, sir. I did. I only tracked it when I was stopped. I wouldn't do that while I was driving, but.
Now, Mr. Johnson asked you about the leg irons. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And you said that those were Timothy's leg irons, correct? Or no, I'm sorry, that they were, your testimony here today was that those were ordered by Paul, and Paul would use those on Legos, correct?
Yes, sir. Actually, I don't think I testified about I know that they were Paul's purchase. I don't think I actually testified about the Legos. I think that was a conversation with police.
Well, I'll leave the jury to the recollection of that, but I remember you saying Legos, and I'm not ashamed to admit the fact that I'm actually a fan of Legos too, so that's why it stuck out in my mind that you just said it earlier today. But to be clear, your testimony is those were Paul's, those were never used on Timothy, right?
As far as I know, yes, sir.
Okay. Let's look at that top text message, 5460. Those top 2 text messages. Again, the blue is you.
The Wisely transaction is handcuffs and leg cuffs for Timothy from Amazon. Figured it would be okay to get those right away till we can talk about the sensors and stuff. If not, please say so and can cancel the order.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that message?
No, sir, I don't.
Wow. You really do have some memory problems, don't you?
Yes, sir. That's common with PTSD.
Page 5829, if you could read that last text there at the bottom and then continues on to the next page.
He has moved around, so he got the cuffs in front of him instead of behind him.
Go ahead and flip the page and read the next one.
I put the cuffs back behind him. I will have to deal with less than 2 hours of sleep today, but not letting him get away with this BS.
I put the cuffs back behind him. That is your text message.
Yes, sir.
So you use handcuffs on Timothy.
I don't remember, honestly.
You don't remember using?
No, sir.
And you said that the transaction, the Wisely transaction, was the leg cuffs and handcuffs for Timothy. That was your text message.
That's what the message said.
Is that the I don't know as well? You don't remember that one either?
There, between the time of the stroke and Timothy's passing, I don't remember a heck of a lot.
But somehow you can remember when the police ask you about the leg irons and the cuffs, you say those were for Paul for a TikTok video, right?
I think that's what I told
That's
him.
what you told the police.
Yes.
So you don't remember things, but you have the wherewithal to make it look like, no, those don't involve Timothy, those were Paul's. It's pretty self-serving, isn't it?
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
I'll withdraw the last part. You had the wherewithal to say that the cuffs that they found belonged to Paul when your text message indicates they were actually for Timothy, right?
Apparently, yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson asked you about the zip ties. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever use zip ties on Timothy?
To attach the personal sensor.
Okay.
And then I remember hearing about a conversation about them, yes, on text. I don't remember it, but I remember hearing about it when it was read.
You remember hearing about a conversation. Did that make you stop and go, oh my goodness, we can't be putting Timothy in zip ties?
Yes, I mean, that's what I thought here. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure, okay. Well, then this, if you care to read the bottom of 4227, that's Paul's message to you.
This is from earlier. He just won't listen or does something I didn't tell him he could. He just tried claiming his zip cuffs were too tight when I didn't even tighten them to where there's no room for his wrists.
This is your response now.
Yeah, leave them as they are and I will check them when I get home and you can tell him that. And if he lied about that, he gets himself in even more trouble. You want me to keep going?
No, that's fine. Leave them as they are, and I will check them when I get home. You want to revise your earlier answer to the question when you said that you would have said, oh no, don't use zip cuffs on Timothy?
I don't recall that, sir. I'm sorry.
Don't recall that either, huh?
No, sir.
Okay. You seem to be having a lot of difficulty when it comes to the text messages that are talking about the things that you either did or want done to Timothy. Is that where the memory issues kick in for you?
It's most of what happened. It's not just text messages. And it doesn't just involve him. The events of the whole 6 months are.
So so all the other text messages that are just about, hey, how's your day going, or get your bike tire fixed, all those types of things, those are all clarity moments, right? So you don't have any issues with.
I don't know if I remember. If you showed me, I don't know if I'd remember them or not. Honestly, we sent a lot of text messages.
No, but what I guess that was a clumsy way of asking that question. You're certainly capable of engaging in a conversation with Paul that's not about anything for Timothy, right?
I would assume so. As far as memory goes, my memory of those is not.
Well, we'll just see what your explanation is for this. So this is 5785. This is June 21st of 2022. This is a week or so after that picture, and we'll get to the picture in a minute that you say that you never saw. Go ahead and read your text message to Paul.
4 with hot sauce that he has to eat, and he has allowed another 4 without, it says house sauce, but he has to do the hot sauce one first, and then set a timer for 30 minutes before you can eat the others.
What time is that sent?
8:05 p.m.
To the second, please.
18.
Okay. What's your next text message?
8:05:47.
30 seconds or so later.
Yes, sir. I was using Siri because I was
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
You could tell by the issues with the text message.
Sure.
I found enough in change to get Gabriel some chicken nuggets and french fries from Burger King. It's like $3 total, so we will be home as soon as I do that.
Do you remember sending the hot sauce text?
I don't remember sending either one of these texts, sir.
Don't remember sending either one of those?
No, sir, I don't.
But you can process that Timothy needs to eat some bread with hot sauce on it, but you scrounged up enough change to make sure that G gets some chicken nuggets and fries. Within 30 seconds. Processing that all in your mind. Sending it all out in a text message, right?
Apparently, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I use Siri.
Let's talk about the photograph. It's People's 36A. Mr. Johnson asked you about it, so if you remembered the text exchange, including the photograph of Timothy, right?
Yes, sir.
And, no, the jury's seen that a couple of times. I don't think they need to see it again right now. Let's go ahead and read the exchange there, starting with the message that Paul sent to you with the photograph.
Timothy tried to sneak food. I yelled at him, and then he became momentarily unresponsive, and then I saw this. He's bone thin, Mama. I think we need to actually feed him.
Okay, and what's your response to that?
I said, Kay, give him bread, please. And then I said, I hear you, give PB sandwiches and water. You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, the unresponsiveness is probably fake, but I see what you mean.
Okay. And go ahead and the next page.
Also, it's no wonder he's hardly capable of standing.
Then this one was photographs of his legs, right?
Yeah, and then I said, I'm in court.
So is it really your testimony that you never saw that photograph?
I do not recall seeing it. That was it. I feel like I want to throw up.
You don't recall seeing the photograph, right?
No, sir.
The unresponsiveness is probably fake, but I see what you mean. You literally use the word see in your text message about see what you mean. But your testimony today is, I didn't look at the photograph. I didn't see the photograph.
Yes, sir. It's a phrase that you use.
It's a phrase that you use, I see what you mean.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that usually when you see the things that the people are talking about?
Sometimes.
I'm wondering why your response to your son saying that your other child is bone thin and needs to eat, actually feed him. That's the phrase. Actually feed him, right?
That's what he said, yes, sir.
Right? And your response to that is, Kay, give him bread, please, or bread with peanut butter. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Not, oh my goodness, this is, if he's that hungry, yeah, make him some chicken nuggets, make him some pizza, make him some pizza rolls, make him any one of a dozen or so things that were in your freezer or your refrigerator, any of that. But that wasn't your response, was it?
No, sir. I was in court. I just was scrambling for an answer.
You were in court, but you were able to send 1, 2, 3 text messages before you said you're in court, right?
Yes, sir.
And the first answer you could come up with to feed your child was give him bread?
I don't remember what I was thinking at the time, sir. I just know that I was distracted because I was in the middle of stuff with court.
But not so distracted that you can say, well, the unresponsiveness is probably fake, but I see what you mean.
Like, I don't know how, I don't know what was going on when that was sent. I honestly don't.
Mr. Johnson asked you about the hot sauce that you ordered, and we saw the bottles of hot sauce. Those weren't just ordered from Meijer, were they?
No.
You had to special order those, didn't you?
On Amazon, yes, sir.
I think you said the reason that you couldn't just get those from Meijer for your grocery delivery things is because they just didn't have hot sauce, right?
No, they didn't have that type of hot sauce.
That type of hot sauce.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you conclude that that was the type of hot sauce that Timothy, how do I put this, both loved and got to be used as a punishment?
Because the hot sauce that I had and the ones that I could access on the apps, he loved those hot sauces, so.
So you had to go out of your way to find one even hotter, one that he didn't like.
Yes, sir.
And the hot sauce started as Paul's idea?
Yes, sir.
How do you come up with the idea to do hot sauce if Timothy likes hot sauce?
Well, he said that I guess he'd read something, if I remember correctly. The conversation's not, it's vague at best, but from what I remember, he'd said something about he'd read something about something really hot, some new something. He's like, oh, this might be an idea to do it with a sauce that he doesn't like.
So you tested out other hot sauces before you got to that point, and because he didn't react, you figured, let's just keep increasing the heat? Is that it?
No, I don't remember how many I ordered, but I just went with something that was hotter than what I could get.
So you tried to punish him with a lower hot sauce, but he doesn't respond. So then you increase how hot it is, right?
I didn't try with the lower because I already knew he liked the lower hot sauce.
So how did it even occur to you to be a punishment for him to find one even hotter then? How is that even a punishment if he likes hot sauce? He never liked even the hot sauce, did he?
Huh? Yes, he did. He ate spicy food.
You heard Paul's testimony yesterday.
I did.
And you heard him say that he never wanted to eat those slices of bread with the hot sauce on it, didn't you? You heard that testimony.
That's what I heard him say, yes.
And your response to that in a lot of these text messages was make sure you use even more hot sauce than you did before, right?
If that's what you say the text messages say.
Well, you just read the one that said he can have 4, and then he can wait 30 minutes, and then he can have some without hot sauce on it. You read that one, right?
Yes, sir.
But again, you don't remember sending that text message.
No, sir.
But aliens didn't take a hold of your phone and take over your body or anything like that, did they?
No, sir.
No. Mr. Johnson didn't ask you, so I'll just go ahead and ask you. You used a number of other physical methods of punishing Timothy, didn't you?
Define number.
Yeah, okay, fine. 2. You made him do wall sits.
One time, and that was Paul's suggestion as well. He said, "Oh, this used to drive me crazy." I guess he said that Paul said that his dad and stepmom had used that as a punishment with him, and so we decided to give it a try. And Timothy could have cared less.
He what? He could not have cared less.
No,
So being made to stand as if there's no support under your legs, he was okay to do that.
I mean,
How long did you have him do it for?
a couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes.
Yes, sir.
When was that?
I don't remember honestly.
And running the stairs.
Yes, sir.
You had him do that a lot, didn't you?
I wouldn't say a lot. It was some.
In fact, there's one text exchange in here where you talk about make sure that he does it a lot, even if it's raining and cold outside, right?
That's what the text says. Yes, sir.
And Paul talks about doing it chasing style at one point, where he chases him up and down the stairs, right?
Yes, sir.
And the stairs we're talking about are outside.
Yes, sir.
They're not
out back.
inside.
No, they're out back.
So cold, rainy. Yep, go run the stairs outside. What did he do? What was the awful crime he had done to warrant doing that?
I don't remember, sir.
In direction to page 6011. Bottom text.
I wonder how it would feel to have that hot sauce on your private parts. I'm not saying touch him there, not at all, but dripping a little bit there, is that horrible?
Did you have to ask that question?
I wouldn't think so. I don't remember that. I can't even imagine saying that.
But you did.
I know, but I can't even imagine it.
About your child, right? Who at that point was in the middle of an ice bath that had lasted at least 2.5 hours at that point, right?
What, are you asking if I said that?
I'm asking you if you said that when your child was in an ice bath for 2.5 hours at that point in time, because this is 4:25 in the afternoon, and you're watching on the camera from work and texting with Paul about what he's supposed to be doing with him in the tub, right?
I mean, if that's what was, I don't remember. If that's what it says, I'm not arguing that. I'm not trying to argue that. I'm just saying I don't know.
It just popped in your head to say, yeah, I wonder what hot sauce on your private parts would be like. That,
I have no idea where it came from. I have no idea.
Did you ever try that hot sauce?
No, I don't like food as spicy as Timothy.
Okay.
About the hottest I can handle is jalapeno cheddar Cheetos.
I'm with you there. I can't handle hot sauce either. So you never even, but administering it as a punishment multiple times, you thought was okay without even trying it yourself first.
Yes, I have a very weak stomach, and so I didn't want to throw up.
Let's talk about the ice maker for a second. People's 31 and People's 32.
Yes, sir.
You recognize that as the ice maker?
Yes, sir. It's a countertop ice maker.
Right. You said it makes about 1.5 cups of ice?
Yes,
is that
sir.
right? This is 1.5 cups of ice in your mind?
No, I measured it. I actually used it to, you can get, I don't know if you've ever had a frappe from McDonald's, but Walmart sells a powder mix that you add milk and ice to, and it's really good, and it's only like $1 instead of $3 at McDonald's. And so it calls for, for some reason I want to say it actually calls for more than 1.5 cups, but that's all I could get at. But yes, that's in a measuring cup, like a sitting up measuring cup, it's 1.5 cups. That's all it does.
And I think your testimony earlier was you didn't know that ice was being used. Is that right?
As far as
in the
what?
cold baths.
Not unless it was specified. I mean, there was sometimes where it said cold and sometimes where it said ice. I didn't say I didn't know it was being used.
Okay.
It was, if it was cold, it was supposed to be just cold.
But all you would use would be the ice that you get out of that ice maker. You wouldn't make any more ice and put it away and
No.
store it up so we could have extra for the next day, would you?
Not that I remember ever doing, no.
Okay. Page 5823. Read that. Those are all your text messages.
Oh yeah, I know, but I wasn't nice tonight either. Made me feel horrible, but no way was he getting away with that crap. Let him know that if he tries to sleep at all, he'll get another ice bath sometime before you leave for work and another when I get home. And I said, might want to toss the ice that is made into some Ziploc bags in the freezer tomorrow for if we need a bunch more.
You want to change your earlier answer?
No, because we never did it. Not that I mean, you can ask Paul, you can recall him, but I don't remember ever tossing it.
But your suggestion to him was, hey, we need to be ready to make more ice and using the ice baths, right?
That's what the text message said, but we never saved the ice.
So that was your intention, was to have a backup plan if you needed to have more ice, right?
That's what the text says.
And that was June 27th, or yes, June 27th. That was about a week before Timothy died, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's about 2 weeks after you were sent the text message with the picture that you didn't see.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Judge.
Sidebar, please.
Sure.